This is Billy Hassinger, WRMU Sports, and I am joined here by wrestling coach Mark Hawald. And Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, just to talk about a little bit about the OAC championships that you had and the national championships, what was some of the great things that you saw at the OAC tournament this year that really made you proud with the way the guys wrestled?
At the OAC tournament, I guess it was just doing what we were supposed to do. You have high expectations of people, and sometimes it's not about getting it is okay, but it's not as good as not getting there would be bad. So I had high expectations. I thought there was every guy in our lineup was capable of getting the job done, of winning the conference. To get 5 of the 10 was pretty good. 6 would have been better. 7 would have been even better. But you can't get too greedy. Having 5 champs this year, when combined, I've had 4 in my previous 3 years combined. So we're definitely moving in the right direction, and looking at it from that way, the growth is definitely there.
And was it just those 5 that actually made it to the national tournament, or were there a couple that were able to receive an at-large bid for how they placed it at the OAC tournament as well?
No, there was only 1 at-large bid in the OAC, and none of our wrestlers got it. So the 5 who won the conference were the 5 who traveled to Wisconsin for the national tournament.
And why don't you tell us a little bit about the 5 wrestlers that did make it to nationals and the way that they performed at nationals and how they ended up placing?
Sure. We had Ricky Reynolds at 125 pounds. He's a sophomore, and he won his second OAC title and made his second trip to nationals. Had a learning experience last year and wrestled. Ended up wrestling much better this year. Won his first 2 matches to make it into the semifinals, and then the second day of the tournament runs into the defending champion from College, who's a real tough kid and just was too much for Ricky. Luckily, he's a senior. He's out of the picture next year. So Ricky lost that match and suffered two losses right after that. Kind of took the wind out of him maybe a little bit. We were winning his consolation semifinals match, the following match, which had he won that, he would have gone in for 3rd and 4th. He was winning and just got in a bad position and got himself pinned and dropped down to the 5th and 6th place match. And then he lost that match. I think at that point it was kind of a long, rough day, and he just wasn't ready to go. 141 pounds. We had Josh Malave, who made his first trip. He was 3rd as a freshman at the conference, 2nd last year, and as junior finally won the conference, qualified for nationals. Wrestled tough in 2 matches, lost them both, did not place for us. Wrestled 2 All-Americans and just close, but close doesn't count. It doesn't win it for you. And we have big expectations for him next year to change those close losses into to wins. 184 pounds, Andy Jenkins, also a junior. He's like Josh, has been 3rd and 2nd in the conference. Made his first trip out, and again, maybe just wasn't ready for this experience quite yet. Lost his 2 matches and didn't place for us. 197 pounds, Bill Schindel. He's been here for 3 years at Mount Union, but a senior for us. Won his 3rd OAC title. 3rd time he's been an All-American for us. He was 8th as a sophomore, 7th last year, finished 3rd this year. Lost a heartbreaker, questionable call also against us in the semifinals, which dropped him down to the consolations. He won 2 straight matches to finish 3rd. In his last match, it was a great match, beating a 2-time NCAA runner-up for that 3rd, 4th match. And he finished his career on a win. 3-time All-American was pretty nice. And then lastly, Derek Hessen, 285 pounds. He lost his first match, but then battled through, won 2 to become an All-American, won a 3rd to just keep moving up in the consoles, and then ended up finishing 5th, beating in his 5th and 6th place match. The wrestler had beat him earlier in the tournament. So wrestled a great tournament. 3 All-Americans, 8th place as a team. We were very pleased and just thinking about where we can move forward for next year.
And some of the seniors that you've had on the team this year, they've been here the amount of time that you've been here too, this being your 4th season. What's it like just seeing the way that they've matured and the way that they've progressed so well as wrestlers to be able to be up to a level, especially with Bill, the way he was able to be a 3-time All-American?
Yeah, Bill wasn't here my first year. I was able to bring him in my 2nd year here, and his growth off the mat, much more mature, better leader, more dedicated, more disciplined, transitioned to his performance on the mat. I mean, he was basically unstoppable this year, other than the 2 losses he had, and almost to a fault, where when he got into the close match of the Wheaton finals and the close match of the national semifinals, he hadn't seen that level of competition because he just has been so far ahead of everybody else that he's seen all year, where he might not have been as ready as we needed him to be. Josh Cintron is actually our only senior who I've had all 4 years here, and he didn't represent us at the OACs. He was beat out for the varsity spot, but he, again, made some pretty incredible growth, going from being an eligible freshman to being a true leader, for our team, both wrestling and otherwise. But then seeing our juniors progress, we've had the same team basically for the most part that we had my second season here, where we were the same guys. They've just grown, they've developed, and go from 30th place at the national tournament to 8th place. Going from winning, I think 6-4, I think was our record that first year with those guys, and now we were 14-0. So to see the growth with the same people has been pretty awesome.
And what are some of the expectations that you really have for next season with having a number of your guys back, really? Just another OAC championship and a good shot at the nationals? Or
yeah, I mean, it's I have my goals, I guess, but it's really, in some ways, it's not up to me. It's up to the guys. I think they need to come together and come to an agreement as to what their goal is as a team. I mean, if I'm saying we have one goal and they have a different idea, I guess what I think doesn't make a lot of sense. But my belief, I guess, and I think this team does have the potential to be a national title contender. We have 9 of our 10 starters coming back, 2 All-Americans coming back, a number of guys who are at that level, who have beaten All-Americans, have beaten national qualifiers. So we are capable of doing it. I think every year probably 4 or 5 teams can say the same thing, that they're capable of being a national championship team. So doesn't mean it's going to happen, doesn't mean we're going to be a top 5 team, doesn't mean we're going to be a top 10 team again, but the potential is there. So the idea is to bring in some good freshmen this spring here, and keep developing the guys we have, and have the battles for the varsity spot just get even more intense. So that way, when they get in the real competition, they're going to be ready to go. And Wartburg College won the national championship with 7 All-Americans, and I have more than 7 guys on our team who I think could be All-Americans. So to say that that's out of the picture, it's not. I guess a year ago I never would have said, yeah, we're going to next year a national championship. I mean, we were just trying to win a conference championship. So I have high expectations, but in the end it's in my guys' hands.
And this year you're being able to knock off Heidelberg and Ohio Northern, with, of course, those 2 programs have great wrestling programs as well. What was your thoughts when you found out that you really were going to win the OAC championship as a team?
I mean, winning it as a in the dual meet portion was it was good. I mean, wrestling's kind of a funny thing because you know what the result is pretty quick. And halfway through the match with Heidelberg, which basically clinched the title, we knew we had them beat. But we also knew BW had a tough team. Now, granted, we beat BW pretty badly, but I didn't want to take anyone lightly. So I didn't consider anything wrapped up until it was all said and done, which I guess I'm not one for celebrating. It was just, all right, let's move on to the tournament. And now winning that tournament, as soon as I knew we had the team title locked up, I was so concerned about the individuals, getting them to the national tournament, that, again, I wasn't like celebrating or happy. And even then I walked away from the OAC tournament being championship team and everything else, and I wasn't thoroughly satisfied because we left some guys home from nationals who should have been making the trip with us.
That'll do things for us here at WRMU. We thank you, Coach Hawald, for joining us again, and good luck next season.
Thank you.